walked all night. My right leg, the one that never healed right after the construction accident years ago, was screaming at me, burning like a hot iron was pressed against the bone. But I kept walking. I held that woven basket against my chest like it was full of diamonds, not just brown, speckled eggs from the chickens back in Willow Creek. These weren't just any eggs, they were for Anna, my Anna. I heard she gave birth, my granddaughter. The thought of it was the only thing keeping me upright as I limped through the fancy paved streets of the Grand Gardens estate. The houses here were like palaces, white marble, gold gates, lawns so green they looked painted. I felt small here. I felt dirty. My skin, dark and weathered from decades of working in the sun, seemed to stand out against all this pristine whiteness. I found the house, number 88. It was massive. I wiped the sweat from my forehead with my sleeve, trying to look presentable, and rang the bell. When the door opened, my heart leaped. Dad! It was her, Anna, but she didn't look like my little girl who used to run around barefoot in the dirt. She was wearing silk. Her hair was done up in a way that looked tight and painful, and her eyes, there was no love in them, only panic. Anna, baby, I rasped, my throat dry. I finally found you. I walked all night through the mountains. I haven't even had a sip of water. Can Dad come in? She stepped out and pulled the door half shut behind her, blocking my view of the inside. Wait, what are you doing here? Why didn't you tell me you were coming? I wanted to surprise you, I smiled, lifting the basket. Look, farm fresh eggs, your favorite. I brought them to help you recover. I want to see the baby. She recoiled like the basket was full of snakes. Oh my God, Dad, they sell eggs at the supermarket. Clean ones, they look like they have poop on them. You're just causing trouble for me. Go, just leave before. Anna, a voice boomed from inside, sharp, shrill. A woman walked out, Mrs. Shaw, Anna's mother-in-law. She was draped in jewelry that clinked when she moved. She took one look at me, at my dusty trousers, my worn-out shoes, my face, and she pinched her nose. Who is this creature? She asked, looking at Anna. He's an egg seller, Anna stammered, looking at the ground. My heart shattered. An egg seller. Mrs. Shaw laughed. It was a cruel, dry sound. An egg seller? Look at him. He looks like he crawled out of a sewer. Those eggs probably have bird flu. That is disgusting. Get him off the porch, Anna. He's going to stain the concrete. Ma'am, I said, trying to keep my voice steady. I'm her. Don't speak to me, she snapped, stepping back as if I were contagious. I don't know what kind of language people like you speak in the gutter, but I don't want to hear it. You smell like poverty. It's making me nauseous. Mom, please, Anna whispered to her. I'll handle it. Handle it, a man's voice joined them. Kevin, her husband. He walked out, tall, handsome in a cold way, wearing a suit that cost more than my house. He looked at me with a sneer that chilled my blood. What is this? Kevin asked, gesturing at me with his chin. Anna, are we running a charity for the homeless now? Look at his skin. It's filthy. You let this thing near our door. I'm leaving, I said, my voice trembling. I just wanted to give these to. We don't want your trash, Kevin said, stepping close to me. He towered over me. And we don't want your kind hanging around this neighborhood. You lower the property value just by standing there. Look at you. You're a genetic mistake, a dark stain on a white canvas. Get lost. He kicked the basket. The eggs flew. They smashed onto the driveway. Yellow yolks ran over the expensive pavers. Now look what you did, Kevin shouted. You made a mess. Lick it up. Go on. That's food for your kind, isn't it? Floor food. Kevin, stop, Anna said weakly. Shut up, Anna, he spat. You need to learn that we don't associate with trash. Hey, old man, if you're not gone in 10 seconds, I'm calling security to drag you out by that bad leg. I looked at Anna. She wouldn't meet my eyes. I turned around and walked away. I left the smashed eggs. I left my dignity on that driveway. I walked until my leg gave out, collapsing on a bench near the estate entrance. I put my head in my hands and I wept, not for the pain, but for the shame. Godfather! I froze, that voice. I looked up. A sleek black car had stopped. A window rolled down. A beautiful young woman was staring at me, her eyes wide with tears. Peaches, I whispered. It really is you. She flew out of the car. Chloe, I called her Peaches. I found her abandoned under a peach tree when she was a baby, raised her alongside Anna until her biological family, the ultra-wealthy Ouyang family, found her and took her back. She didn't care about the dirt. She didn't care about the sweat. She threw her arms around me and buried her face in my dusty shoulder. Godfather, look at your shoes, she cried, pulling back. They're worn through, you're bleeding. Who did this to you? It doesn't matter, I said, wiping my eyes. I'm just an old fool, Peaches. No, she said, her voice hardening. You are the man who saved my life. Come on, you're coming home with me. Chloe took me to her villa. It was the biggest one in the Grand Gardens, right at the top of the hill. She tried to give me everything, new clothes, gold, food, but I couldn't rest. I couldn't stop thinking about Anna. She was my daughter. I knew she was suffering. A few days later, I heard from the estate chatter that the water pipes in Anna's building had burst. Chloe owned the whole estate, so I grabbed a toolbox. I can fix it, I told Chloe. Let me do this, please. She looked at me with sad eyes. Godfather, they don't deserve you. I know, but she's my blood. I went back to that house. I wore a blue work uniform and a cap, pulling it low over my face. When I walked into the kitchen, chaos reigned. Water was spraying everywhere. Where is the maintenance guy? Mrs. Shaw was shrieking, standing on a chair. My Italian leather shoes are getting wet. This is a disaster. We live in a third world country, I swear. I'm here, I muttered, keeping my head down. I dove under the sink. I twisted the valves, my old hands working from muscle memory. The water stopped. Finally, Kevin scoffed. About time. Hey, you, mop this up, and be quick about it. I don't want you breathing my air longer than necessary. I crawled out, grabbing a rag. As I wiped the floor, I saw a baby carrier in the corner, my granddaughter, Bunny. She was awake, looking at me with big, dark eyes. I couldn't help myself. I reached out a trembling hand and gently touched her tiny fingers. Hi there, little one, I whispered. It's Grandpa. Hey! Kevin's foot slammed into my ribs. I gasped, rolling over, clutching my side. Get your filthy black hands off my daughter, Kevin roared. He looked like a demon. Are you insane? You carry diseases. You're dirty. You're probably crawling with lice. How dare you touch her? I just... Kevin, my necklace, Mrs. Shaw screamed suddenly. She was patting her pockets. My gold necklace, it was right here on the counter. It's gone. The room went deadly silent. Kevin turned to me slowly. The look in his eyes was murderous. You, he hissed, you thief. I didn't take anything, I pleaded, trying to stand up, but my leg was throbbing. I was just fixing the pipe. Don't lie to me, boy, Kevin spat. It's in your nature, isn't it? People like you see something shiny and you just have to grab it. You can't help yourselves. You're animals. I am not a thief, I yelled back, a spark of anger finally lighting in my chest. Search him, Mrs. Shaw commanded. Strip him if you have to. It's in his underwear, I bet. That's where they hide things. Anna, I looked at her. She was standing by the fridge, biting her lip. Anna, tell them I wouldn't steal. Ice. Anna looked at Kevin, then at me. I don't know, Dads, you are poor, maybe you needed the money. My soul died right there. Kevin grabbed me, he tore my jacket open, he ripped my pockets, he shoved me against the counter. Empty them, now. I pulled out my pockets, nothing but a few loose screws and a picture of Anna when she was 5. Kevin snatched the photo. What is this? You stalking my wife? You sick old pervert. He ripped the photo in half and threw it in the trash. Found it, Mrs. Shaw's voice rang out. She pulled the gold chain out of her own apron pocket. Oh, she said, blinking. I must have put it there when the water started spraying. There was no apology, no remorse. Kevin just shoved me toward the door. Get out. You're lucky we don't call the cops anyway. Your face is a crime in itself. Go back to whatever slum you crawled out of. But she found it, I said, my voice breaking. I didn't steal. You wanted to, Kevin sneered. I saw it in your eyes. Envy, jealousy. You hate us because we're better than you, because we're the sun and you're the dirt. Get out. I limped away, broken. When I got back to the hilltop villa, Chloe saw my face. She saw the bruise on my ribs. She didn't say a word. She just walked over to her desk, picked up a phone, and made a call. Ryan, it's me, the Shaw family. Destroy them. No, I said, grabbing her hand. No, Peaches, not yet. Why, Godfather? They are monsters. Because, I sighed, sitting down heavily. It's my birthday tomorrow. You said you're throwing a banquet. Yes, the biggest in the city, to introduce my godfather to the world. Invite them, I said. Chloe looked at me confused. What? Invite them, let them come, let them see. The next night, the banquet hall was glowing. Crystal chandeliers, mountains of seafood, the the elite of the city in their finest tuxedos. I stood in the shadows near the back, wearing a suit Chloe had custom-made for me. It felt strange. I felt like an imposter. Then they walked in. The Shaws, Anna, Kevin, and Mrs. Shaw. They strutted in like they owned the place. I heard later they thought the invitation was because of Anna's parents, the lie she told them about being wealthy diplomats. They thought this was their big break to get a contract with the Huang Group. They grabbed champagne. They laughed loud, obnoxious laughs. "This is class," Mrs. Shaw shouted to anyone who would listen. "Finally, we are among our peers, no more smelling the unwashed masses." Then she saw me. I was standing near the cake, adjusting my tie. Mrs. Shaw dropped her glass. It shattered. "Security," she screamed, her voice cut through the music. "Security, there is a vagrant in the hall." The room went quiet. Everyone turned. Kevin stormed over to me, his face turning purple. "You, again? How the hell did you get past the gates? Did you dig a hole under the fence like a rat?" "I was invited," I said calmly. "Invited?" Kevin threw his head back and laughed. "Listen to this. The trash thinks he was invited. Who invited you? The sanitation department to take you away." He poked me in the chest. Hard. "You are ruining the air quality in here. Look at you. You're trying to dress up like a human being. It's pathetic. It's like putting a tuxedo on a monkey." "Kevin, please," Anna whispered, terrified. "People are watching." "Let them watch," Kevin roared. "Let them see how we deal with intruders. I bet he's here to steal the silverware. Check his pockets." He grabbed my lapel. "Get on your knees. Beg for mercy, and maybe I won't have you thrown in jail for trespassing." "Let go of him." The voice was quiet, but it carried more weight than Kevin's shouting ever could. Chloe stepped out from the crowd. She was wearing a red gown that looked like liquid fire. She looked like a queen. Kevin sneered at her. He didn't know who she was. "And who are you?" "His social worker. Take your stray dog and get out of here, honey, before I have you thrown out too." The crowd gasped, a collective intake of breath. Chloe smiled. It was a terrifying smile. "You want to throw me out?" she asked softly. "Out of my own house, out of my own company." Kevin blinked. "What?" "I am Chloe Ouyang," she said, "president of the Huang Group." Kevin's face went white. Mrs. Shaw looked like she was having a stroke. "And this man," Chloe said, stepping next to me and taking my hand. She raised it high. "This man is not a vagrant. He is not a thief. He is my godfather. He is the guest of honor. This entire banquet is for him." Silence, absolute, crushing silence. Mrs. Shaw started trembling. Godfather. "Yes," Chloe continued, her eyes drilling into Kevin. "He is the man who raised me, the man who taught me integrity, something you obviously lack. You called him a monkey. You called him trash." I didn't know," Kevin stammered, sweat pouring down his face. "Mr. Ouyang, sir, it was a joke, a misunderstanding. We love, diversity." "Diversity," I spoke up. My voice was strong now. "You called me a genetic mistake. You said I was a dark stain." "No, never." Kevin dropped to his knees. He actually crawled toward me. "Sir, please, the contract, we need the investment. Our company is failing, please. I'll do anything. I'll lick your shoes. Look." He bent down, trying to kiss my shoes. I stepped back. "Get away from me. You have no dignity." "Anna," Mrs. Shaw shrieked, pushing Anna forward. "Do something. He's your dad, right? You said he was your dad." Anna looked at me. Tears were streaming down her face. "Dad, please, for Bunny, we need the money." I looked at her. "Now I'm dad. 5 minutes ago I was a stranger. 5 minutes ago you let him call me an animal." "I was scared," Anna sobbed. "You weren't scared," I said sadly. "You were ashamed. You looked at my skin and you looked at his money and you chose the money. Well, now you have neither." "Get them out," Chloe ordered. Security descended. They dragged Kevin and Mrs. Shaw out. They were screaming, cursing, blaming each other. Anna followed them, head hung low. I thought that was the end. I really did. But hate is a persistent thing, and desperation makes people monsters. A month later, my phone rang. It was Anna. "Dad," she was weeping. "It's Bunny, she's sick. She has leukemia. She needs a bone marrow transplant." My heart stopped. "Bunny, my innocent granddaughter." "I'm coming," I said. I rushed to the hospital. The Shaws were there. They looked ragged. Their clothes were wrinkled. They had lost the house, the cars. They were living in a rental. When I walked in, Kevin didn't sneer. He didn't yell. He looked at me with a strange, cold calculation. Are you a match? He asked. I don't know. I'm here to get tested. I got tested. Anna got tested. Kevin, Mrs. Shaw. The doctor came in an hour later. He looked grim. The parents aren't a match, he said. The grandmother isn't a match. He looked at me. Mr. Arthur, you are a match. Relief washed over me. Thank God, take it. Take whatever you need. But the doctor hesitated. Sir, you are 70 years old. You have a history of anemia. You have one kidney functioning at 60%. A bone marrow donation. The anesthesia alone could kill you. Your heart might stop. The room went quiet. He'll do it, Kevin said instantly. I looked at him. He'll do it, Kevin repeated, staring at me. He's old anyway. He's lived his life. Bunny is just a baby. It's the only use he has left. Kevin, Anna gasped. What? Kevin snapped at her. Look at him, Anna. He's a cripple. He's useless. If he dies on the table, at least he did one good thing. He owes us. He humiliated us at that banquet. I felt a coldness spread through my chest that had nothing to do with the air conditioning. I will do it, I said quietly. Not for you, Kevin. Not because I owe you, but because that baby is innocent. She doesn't have your hate in her blood yet, and I want to save her before you poison her. I signed the papers. The surgery was scheduled for the next morning. That night, lying in the hospital bed, I waited. I waited for Anna to come say thank you, to say I love you, to say good luck. She never came. I heard them in the hallway though. The door was cracked open. If the old man dies, Mrs. Shaw was whispering, does Chloe Ouyang pay for the funeral? Maybe we can sue the hospital for malpractice, get a settlement, get our money back. That's smart, Mom, Kevin chuckled. Yeah, if he croaks, we hit the jackpot twice. We get the kid back and we get a payout. Honestly, I hope he doesn't wake up. It would save us having to pretend to be nice to him. And Anna will do what she's told. She knows where her bread is buttered. I turned my face to the pillow and let the tears fall. They were betting on my death. They were hopping for it. The next morning, they wheeled me in. The lights were bright. The anesthesia mask came down. Count back from 10, the doctor said. 10, 9, 8. I prayed, Lord, let me live. Just long enough to see them one last time. Just long enough to finish this. I woke up. It felt like I had been kicked by a mule. My hips ached. My head was spinning, but I was alive. I blinked open my eyes. Chloe was there. She was sleeping in the chair next to me, holding my hand. Peaches, I croaked. She woke up instantly. Godfather, you're awake. Oh, thank God. The doctors said your heart stopped twice. I thought I lost you. Bunny, I asked. She's fine. The transplant was a success. Her white blood cell count is already up. And Anna. Chloe's face went dark. She looked away. Tell me. They left, Godfather. Left the hospital. Left the country. I stared at her. What? As soon as the surgery was confirmed successful, as soon as they knew the baby was safe, Kevin took them. He said he wasn't going to stick around to thank a farm animal. He said he got what he needed from you, like squeezing juice from a lemon, and now the rind is trash. And Anna, I whispered, did she fight him? Chloe started crying. She reached into her pocket and pulled out a crumpled piece of paper. She left this. I took the note. My hands were shaking. It was a check for $5,000, and a note scrawled in Anna's handwriting. Dad, thanks for the marrow. Kevin says we have to go. This money is for your trouble. Buy yourself some new shoes. Don't look for us. $5,000. That was the price of my life. That was the price of her father. Something inside me finally snapped. The last thread of love, the last tether of hope that held me to Anna, it broke. Burn it, I said, dropping the note. Godfather. I said burn it, and then call the lawyers. What are you going to do? I looked out the window at the city skyline. I felt different. The sadness was gone, replaced by a cold, hard clarity. They want to run, I said. Let them run, but they forgot one thing. They ran with my money. Your money. The money you gave Anna secretly over the years, I said. The allowance you sent to her offshore account because I asked you to help her. That account is in my name, isn't it? Chloe smiled, a vicious shark-like smile. Yes, it is. Freeze it, I said. Freeze every penny. And the house they rented. Who owns the rental company? We do, Chloe said. Evict them, and the visas. You have connections in the embassy. I can have their visas revoked in an hour. Do it, I said. Strip them naked. Leave them with nothing. If they want to treat people like animals, let them see what it's like to live in the wild. 3 days later, I was sitting in my wheelchair in Chloe's garden. My phone rang. It was a number I didn't know. I answered. Dad. It was Anna. She sounded frantic. There was wind rushing in the background. Dad, help, our cards aren't working. The hotel kicked us out. The police are here. They say our visas are invalid. They're deporting us. Kevin is screaming. He's hitting me. Dad, please wire us money. I listened to her panic. I listened to the sound of Kevin yelling in the distance, calling her useless, calling her trash. Dad, are you there? Say something. Hello, I said calmly. Who is this? It's Anna, your daughter. I don't have a daughter, I said. My daughter died a long time ago. She died when she became a shore. Dad, please, we're at the airport. They're sending us back. We have nowhere to go. We're homeless. Homeless? I looked down at my legs, healing slowly in the sun. Well, Anna, you know what Kevin said. People like us. We know how to survive in the gutter. I'm sure you'll figure it out. Maybe you can sell eggs. Dad. Goodbye, Mrs. Shaw. I hung up. I blocked the number. I leaned back in my chair and closed my eyes. The sun felt warm on my face. I could hear the birds singing. Godfather, Chloe walked out carrying a tray of tea. Is everything okay? I looked at her, my real daughter, the one who chose me. Yes, Peaches, I smiled. Everything is finally quiet. We sat there watching the sunset. Somewhere, miles away, the shores were learning a hard lesson. But here, in the garden, there was only peace. And for the first time in my life, I didn't feel dirty. I didn't feel poor. I felt free.